Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bonafide Investing. My name is Matt. This is officially the first video. So welcome you to the channel. We are going to discuss everything investing, everything trading, everything goals. So with that said, what I want to do today is just talk a little bit about, the purpose of the channel, what we're going to focus on, etc. So without wasting any more time, I was a financial advisor for many years. Left the industry finally because I just thought I could do better for myself as well as do better for my clients. I'm a firm believer that many investors can do better themselves if they're willing. But again, everything we do here will never be financial advice. Please know that everything will be educational only. So with that said, we'll look at what cash flow life is, what this account is. So cash flow life is a brokerage account that I use to pay my bills, as well as pay down my margin debt. So I use mainly high yield ETFs, a very diversified basket of high yield ETFs and closed end funds, as well as trade options and futures in order to accomplish my goals here. So what we'll look at today is, what are the goals for cash flow life, short-term and long-term. We'll look at some of the holdings within cash flow life. Today, we'll not look at any options. My portfolio is going to look very different come Monday morning. This is still the weekend because I'm selling out of some positions and adding to some others, as well as opening up some new options positions as well. The goal, what I've found, is that many people, myself included at times, have attention spans of fleas. I don't know how else to put it. So I'm going to keep these videos very short. That way I think we can cover more content with, I think, less time. So the goal, again, is to educate without wasting anyone's time. So after doing some soul searching, speaking with some people I truly respect, getting their, I guess, constructive feedback, praying about it, just ultimately at the end of the day, just, I guess, doing what God wants us to do is just start the channel. So here we are, absolutely thrilled to do this. I've had the chance to listen to so much good content on YouTube. And I think there's so many people doing so many great things. It's fun to watch and learn. I think there's some areas that we could do better when it comes to high yield investing still. So another goal of the channel is to hopefully be able to fill some of those needs if I can. And we'll love to hear back any feedback in the comment section below, anything that you want to discuss, anything I can share, right? So Bonafide Investing will be a strictly free channel. I'm not going to charge subscription or anything like that. So if you want to see me trade a future contract, trade options, do you want to see me place a live trade, a buy and a sell inside the portfolio, more than happy to do it. Or if there's just a topic that we'll eventually talk about, but if there's something else you want to see sooner, margin, interest rates, ETFs, closed-end funds, Federal Reserve, whatever it is, let me know in the comment section, and I'll try to make a video on it in the future. So cash flow life, the reason I did this was I really didn't want to go back to the financial service industry. And, obviously need to keep paying my bills, feeding the family. So what I've been constructing through a little trial and error over the past year and a half is kind of an all-weather high ETF portfolio. What I'm trying to do is include bonds, include equities, include precious metals, include real estate, and include crypto, Bitcoin. So I think there's a way to generate high income, reduce your risk while doing so, and then also being mindful of NAV erosion. This is a topic I'm going to talk about quite a bit, NAV erosion. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So what you'll typically see is whenever you see a higher yielding fund, right, ETF, closed-end fund, what have you, the NAV is going to drop, okay? Meaning the net asset value of that fund is going to drop. with that high distribution rate. And this has upset, I think, a lot of high yield investors. And so what I've tried to do is kind of control the best I can around that, where I'm getting some, high yield, but also not putting everything into ultra high yield, right? I think when you start getting, in my opinion, above that 20, 25% yield, I think that you'd really start risking that NAV erosion over time. So what you'll notice, TLTW and SGov, these are my two holdings that SGov is my cash cushion, okay? Short duration, T-bills. TLTW is my longer bond duration, which sells covered calls on the TLT. So it generates usually higher than average bond income on that ETF. Cornerstone, CRF, this is a closed-end fund that tracks the index, has a lot of great features to it, which we'll talk about in a future video. But one of the foundations I like to keep in the portfolio as well. WPay and YMAX, these are two, I would say, high yield on the higher end ETFs that produce high income. They're diversified baskets that hold, various individual covered call ETFs within their respective companies, Roundhill and YieldMax. QDTE, QLDY, QQQI. These are my three high yielding NASDAQ exposure ETFs. We'll go more in depth about these as well as we go. XDTE, SPYI. These are my high yield S&P 500 ETFs. RDTE, this is my small cap Russell 2000 high yield covered call ETF. GDXY, this is a gold miner high yield ETF that writes covered calls on the GDX. GLDY is a high yield ETF that sells covered calls on the GLD. And then IAU and IGLD, they're just lower yielding gold ETFs that what I found so far is they have a little bit more price stability, lower yields. So use those more as an anchor for my gold exposure. And IYRI, this is a REITs, real estate, high yield ETF that sells calls on the REIT space. So as I mentioned before, my portfolio is going to look very different come Monday morning. And like I said, I'm hoping to get my next video out on Tuesday to show you some of the changes I've made, the reasons for it. We'll dive into each of these holdings, my strategy behind them, the percent allocations that I try to adhere to around them, where and when I'll be rebalancing. That's another area that I would really want to touch on. The importance, in my opinion, of rebalancing your high yield portfolio. I don't offer any tax advice, but I'll show you how a lot of these funds distribute in very tax efficient manners, keeping your tax bill low, while a lot of the income isn't really income, if you want to think about it that way. And we'll talk more about that in future videos as well. So super excited to be here, super blessed, and look forward to future videos. Hit the like and subscribe if you are excited about what we're doing here as time goes on. Help support the channel, and enjoy the rest of your day.